Welcome back to another Union Arena Deck Tech. Today we got ProDMJoey. Normally he's the one kind of doing the interviews, but today we're kind of doing a spin on it because this is his favorite all-in set. So I figured, why not talk about none other than Roy Mustang from Fullmetal Alchemist. This deck brings a blue take on basically Purple Squad Zero's bleach discards to help remove threats. Also the ability to discard an extra card to remove threats out of the game, easily limiting ways for decks to cycle back pieces. Again, that is a great value that a lot of decks can't always answer. So if you can just remove the card out of the game, they're just kind of limited on what they can do. With the ability of Mustang comboing with Hawkeye, not the Avengers Hawkeye, but Riza, she's also allows you to keep control to use with Mustang's effects. Whether you're looking for something new in the meta or just want to learn ins and outs of the strategy, you're in the right place. So let's start with the basics. How would you describe the identity of Mustang? Is it aggro, control, mid-range, or something else?
I think that this deck is a more mid-range reactionary style deck that has the potential to be a push-up early aggro deck that then punishes your opponent for trying to retaliate against you.
Ooh. So what kind of players do you think would enjoy piloting this deck?
If you're tired of playing Purple Squad Zero, I think you would really enjoy this. Or if you want a deck that is really rewarding to you piloting it well and teaches you how to ins and outs and how to layer all of your actions and how to get the most action out of your actions, this is going to be a deck that you find fantastic. Also, if you like the two best girls in all of this IP, this is going to be a deck for you. We have both Riza and Alex Louis Armstrong, the two best princesses of FMA.
Oh, that is very true. So let's break down how this deck curves out. Walk me through your curve with early game to late game and what the ideal opening hand is.
So this deck is running something that is a little strange, but I promise it works for this specific style of deck. We are doing a 10-0-7-1 split for our early game. Our zeros are 4 of the Mustang Raiders. We choose to go with 4 of him and only 3 of Riza's because A, Riza doesn't need as many good raid targets in order for her to be that good, and B, Roy has better cards that you don't want to be raiding on top of over the zero drop if you can help it. In tandem with all of that, we are playing Vato, which is a Briggs card, but let's be honest, it has that special word, draw a card. We're probably going to play that. It's a 0 cost with a draw trigger, draw a card. Why are we not going to play that?
Draw a discard, right?
Draw a discard, yes, but importantly, draw a card.
That's the cycling card.
Yeah,
that is the keyword.
Yeah, these cards are amazing. Moving along onto the ones, we are running 3 of the Roys with a draw trigger. This card is just a nullify impactor. And we say just a nullify impactor because, well, if you have no cards in hand, he's a 3K, but honestly, that's rarely going to matter early game when he is attacking. If you have no cards in hand and starting on turn 2 when he's attacking, there's a big problem. But he's a good target.
This card was in the game.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. It's nullify impacts. It's a 2K, and it can be a 3K. And it being a 3K is actually very relevant in this deck late game when we get to, what the deck tends to do when you get into the higher stuff. The next card is the winner and release event Riza. Your version hopefully looks like my version. If it doesn't, it looks like the one that's on the screen right now. When played, look at the top 2, place any number of them on top or onto the bottom of your deck. This is fantastic card selection. It is one of the most rewarding cards to play in a style of deck like this, where you get to go, okay, I'm going to play her, look at the top 2. Are any of these helping me to hit my curve, helping me to get to my big scary threats, helping me to raid out anything that I need? Is this the final that I need, the special that I need? It is card selection. Yes, you don't get to select the card into your hand immediately, but you get to get the card sooner or later. Or best case scenario, you play this on curve, you're like, okay, we're going to be curving perfectly, and you're like, wow, that's 2 1s, and ship them both to the bottom of your deck. That's almost as good as just drawing through those cards and not having them be dead cards in your hand. Not that this deck has dead cards in its hand, but when you want action, you want action. Moving along from that one, yeah, I see. We have the 2-drop Roy. Now, this is a card that some people... Again, my copy looks a little different than yours. I got it out of my case. It's so pretty. It's the old art.
Well,
a lot of people
a full play set of it, or are you just hiding out? So people.
I have half a play set. We're getting there. Okay. We're getting there.
At least show that there's the differences. At least.
All right, fine.
Through their crap.
Fine. But yes, this Roy. A lot of people are hit or miss on it after play testing this deck for the past 2 months. While everybody's been playing everything else coming out, I just kind of play those decks fun. These are the things I've been hardcore going at. Some people are hit or miss because it's not a trigger, but it's when played is something with 1500 or more BP gets minus 1k. That is fantastic in this deck. Its ability to not be a discard card to kill things with your Roy means that it is going to be a fantastic card just to put into play, minus 1k something right over top of it, and now you have to discard less cards in order to kill what you are killing, because that was your raid target anyways. Really good card. It is worth it in the deck, even though it doesn't have a trigger.
Well, how many non-triggers are you playing is the real question.
8.
Okay, we can live with that. If you
8 is fine.
I was about to say rethink your deck quality.
No. I would. It's not good enough for that. It's not aggressive enough for that. We have one other card under the 2 slot, but this card is not really a character. It's the military is in trouble. This is a deck that has multiple ways to go empty-handed, and if you can filter and choose how you're emptying your hand out, then you play this as your last card. You draw 2 cards, and because you have exactly 2 cards in hand, you draw 1 additional card. In my experience, these draw cards effects are usually only worth it when it's draw 3 cards, if it doesn't come with a body. If it's only a draw 2, most of the time it's not going to be worth it. But this is a draw trigger. You control the number of cards in your hand very easily. I think this card is fantastic. Again, you're just looting through your deck very quickly. Okay. Some people are higher on it, some people are lower on it. It depends on your preference purely. Moving up, we got the color trigger maze hues. Here, for everybody who doesn't have the pretty one, that's what he looks like. It's a double energy producer.
Look like that. He should be in a phone booth pinned against the wall.
Yes, he should. But it is a 3-drop double energy color trigger in blue. You need to hit 5 energy in this deck, so it's good to have double energy in it. That's why we're running 8 of them. It's very pivotal for the deck. The additional effects of this card, though, is really what makes it stand out. So you can place a card from your hand into your sideline to make him a 4K until end of turn. A good threat. 4K beat stick. And who knows, maybe there's synergy for having no cards in hand. I don't know.
No hands.
In addition to that, when he is sidelined, if you have 2 or less cards in your hand, you draw a card. So not only is he a 4K beat stick, but even if your opponent goes, oh wow, that's a 3K on my turn, haha, raid this guy, blow it up, it's only a 3K. Okay, I'll draw a card. That's great. Like, yes, you got to kill my character. That's perfectly fine for you. I got to draw a card off the exchange. I'm happy with that.
Ooh.
Moving right along is Riza, the other no trigger card in the deck. It's a double energy producer. She's worth it. Oh my god, Riza is so worth it. You can't have Riz without Riza. Anyways, double energy producer
emulates Riz.
Yes. When you play her, if you have a Mustang, you draw a card. That is a fantastic line of text. I love cards that say draw cards. I'm playing 4 of these. Some people are down to 3 on these. I think her being a raid target, double energy producer, drawing a card 99% of your games on play. Because if you don't have a Roy in play, what the hell are you doing? Why did you keep that hand? Why didn't you mulligan? Why didn't you scry better? Why didn't you draw better? Why didn't you discard better? Like, you're going to hit it if you're not bad. Drawing a card is fantastic. Now, past all of that, we have our 8 typical events, finals, specials. They are what they are. But now we get into the cards that are really good. Now, Riza,
there's a spicy tech in it, but we have a spicy tech that not many people would even consider. We'll
get to him at the end. He's fine. He's fine. He's fantastic, is what he is.
Well, he's a fairy princess.
The best, this girl. Anyways, Riza herself. This card is so incredibly slept on. So when you play her, you minus something 1k that's 15k or 1500 or bigger. Then you look at the top 4, place one of those cards back on top of your deck, the rest go onto the bottom. Yes, it's unfortunate you're bottoming those 3 cards and you're not drawing the card out of the 4, but you are again filtering through your deck so quickly with things like the 1-drop and the other draw card triggers. That effect kind of is just like whatever. You're trying to smooth out the things you don't want when you get her like that. The point of her that becomes incredible is her active main has that same line of text. A character with 1.5k BP or more gets minus 1k. Meaning if you have a 3k, I can minus 2k your character by rating her, active maining her. And every turn she's on the battlefield, she lowers that thing that is 1k. For everybody playing Marileona or Karapika or Greed, 5ks don't exist because she's in play. They're 4ks now. Sit the hell down, little boy. Calm down. She is fantastic, but on her own, she's not killing anything because it's always the stipulation they need to be 1500 or more. And this is where the killing stuff comes in. Mustang. Oh my goodness. What a fucking Chad. This guy is incredible.
He proves that a man can cry.
Yes.
And still be a champ.
Oh yeah. He's a real one. He killed everyone that hurt his homies. He's a real one. Anyways, if you have no cards in hand, he has impact. That line of text is a little weird because most of the time you're not actually going empty-handed with this deck. But late game when you need it, you get it. He has impact. Impact is good. Impact is what we need. On play, draw a card. He immediately replaces himself. Good. We're in on this so far, right? Place any number of cards from your hand into your sideline. When he attacks, keep in mind you can do this every single turn he's in play. Choose up to one character with 1000 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. For each card placed from your hand into your sideline with this ability, add 1000 to the BP range of the character you may choose with this ability. If you sideline a character with this ability, you can sideline one additional card from your hand to remove it from the game. Now, he is unique, and where most people mess him up is he is not multiplicative. You don't multiply 1k by the number of cards you're getting rid of, you add 1k. So at base, if you go, I rate a Riza, minus 2k that thing, play him, swing, I'm not discarding any cards, I can kill up to a 3k with that combo. With this Roy, up to a 2k, no cards lost in hand. But if things are slightly bigger, say you're aiming for a 4k, you raid her, you get to get the minus 2 on that, he gets the 1 passively, I'll discard 1 card to kill a 4k. And if it's a card that has a good win sideline ability, I'll discard a card to remove it from the game. Screw that card, it's gone forever. Or if you're in a situation where a lot of these yellow decks are like, haha, my character's coming back forever. No, it's going out of the game. Remove it, it's gone forever. I'm sorry, Alphons. I'm sorry, Shikigamis. Get the hell out of here. It is a fantastic card.
Get rid of the dogs.
Yes, get rid of all the
like old yellow.
Well, not Alphonse. I like Alphonse, but yeah, he's really good at removing them, which is very thematic for Roy. He will burn and incinerate anything that gets in his way. That is great.
Yes, it does.
So that is the general core of the deck minus Spice Slot.
Okay. So what is the dream scenario for this deck if everything goes right?
So if everything is going right, you are playing Vato on either turn 1 if you're going second or on turn 2 if you're going first. Being able to push up early to get some chip damage into your opponent to force them to have to retaliate and put something small on the front line. If your Roy's first raid removes something that is a raid target and it costs you no cards in hand, that is perfect. That is ideal. You want to get the good chip damage in, filter through with the Rizas, draw additional cards, and when your opponent goes, I'm going to start killing your Roy because he's the scariest thing, keep Riza in play and have 3k smashing into your opponent's face because they can't block it anyways. Your 4k is a 3k, screw you. The other ideal scenario in this is if you are forced to be reactive to what your opponent is doing, if they are playing things too quickly, too fast, you want to be able to get a combo turn where you go Roy, kill one thing, Roy, kill another thing, with two of them being raided, and your opponent is so far behind they don't really know what to do. And every turn he is in play after that, he gets exponentially better as a card.
Okay. So let's talk about where this deck fits in the current meta.
Ooh. All right. Well, this is where it becomes a little weird, right? As it stands, if you don't know how to play against this deck and you don't know what it is doing and you don't know how to threat assess, majority of the decks are going to be losing to this. The unfortunate thing about piloting this deck is it is a very high skill ceiling deck. You need to know what cards are the valuable cards that you scry keep to the top, which ones are the valuable ones to discard, when is it appropriate to be fishing for your voice, when it's appropriate to be fishing for May, when is it appropriate to be pushing up. It's very difficult to know the specific lines without practicing it already. I will say it has a very good matchup into Gwen. It has a favorable matchup into Sukuna. It has a fantastic matchup into Nanami, because the Nanami will not get a win sideline ability. It just won't. You get rid of that.
Shutting those downs are important.
Oh, yes. But where it suffers is sadly against any of the go bigger decks. Marileona, you need to pilot yourself to beat their deck. They don't have to do anything different to beat you. So that is where the skill expression of the deck comes in. However, I don't think this deck has a poor matchup in our current meta. It has poor piloting. Saitama's in our meta?
Yellow Saitama comes in and out whenever people decide to turn sideways.
Sure, let me teach you how to beat Yellow Saitama. I block. Okay, so, am I wrong? What? Oh no, it's a 10k double I block it. Cool, done. Let me just kill you with other things. You have enough card selection that you're going to be able to outvalue them on cards unless they have their nut draw. A nut draw is a nut draw is a nut draw, right? You're not going to beat it. Yep. But yes, it is very, very good against all of those decks. The other thing to keep in mind is raiding Riza off of life is a fantastic thing to at least save yourself a life. It minus 1k one of their things, so if they're swinging in with a 4k impactor you were going to have to take anyways, you get to just pop it down 1k. Now,
just block with a Riza.
There is a special slot in this deck where you can play one of two cards. For me, Louis is one of the most broken cards printed in recent IPs. 5 energy is something you're aiming to do anyways, and with your card filtering and selection, you'll be able to get there pretty easily. He is a 4.5k double damage once per turn. When he wins a battle while attacking, you draw 2 cards. He is a must-answer threat that cannot get bounced by blue triggers. No blue characters that can raid can bounce him. Ichigo can't bounce him because it says 4k. What's his name? Yuji can't bounce him because it says 4k. That means they have to special him, or they have to use one of their on-raid effects that can possibly kill a 4.5. But even that is going to be very difficult for a lot of the decks. I like him because he's better on defense and better for the mid to late game. And in a meta that is currently, completely oversaturated with decks that are doing nothing but removing every single turn while playing characters, I think a card like Louis is fantastic. Because, again, the longer Roy stays in play, the better he gets. If you're forced to take out Louis, Roy's in play. But there is one card you can play over him, and that's this Edward right here.
Yes. That one's nuts too.
He's nuts too. I completely agree with everyone who says they want to play this Edward in their deck. I don't. I want to play Louis. If you want to play Edward, hats off to you. You are probably correct. My playstyle suits Louis better. On play, you may add a life from your life area to your hand, meaning draw a card. Yes, you lose a life, but it goes to your hand to set him to active. He's only 1 AP, so he comes in rushing for 1 AP. And yes, it costs a life. I draw the card. I'm okay with that, right?
Most people are.
Yeah. Active main, discard 2 cards to give him impact until end of turn. So when you need to finish out the game, this is the card that can go, all right, I'm going to have impact because Roy's going to have impact because I'm going to discard all the cards in my hand to remove their 1 nullify impactor. This guy now has impact. Smash, smash. I'm winning that turn. It is
say a special trigger make you sad.
Of course, but like we don't live in magical Christmas fairyland, so it happens.
Really, I do.
You do. You definitely do against me. But yes, it is probably correct to play him. I have one other caveat as to why I like the Louis over him in this deck. If you look at all of the triggers we have, Louis is the only active trigger. Everything else is draw a card, special, final, or color, or get. Louis is the only active trigger. Active triggers are so clutch when you need them. I really, really enjoy that as a defensive strategy. He's another draw trigger. But again, when you're discarding your hand to Mustang, getting draw triggers is fantastic when they go, okay, we don't have to worry about him. You'll have 2 cards next turn. Draw trigger, draw trigger, draw trigger. I have 5 cards, Okay, so it's very good. You are correct in either direction. But yeah, that's the overall deck.
If someone wanted to try out Mustang for first time, what is your first thing they should know?
The first thing you should know is this Roy Mustang you can only get in the starter deck. And you only get 1 copy of it. So buy it.
4 of those things?
I did, yeah. I got lucky. I got 2 copies of the pretty one. There's a non-pretty version that comes base.
Yeah, why is it in the starter deck? Stop doing that to us. That's bad game design. Make me buy 4 useless starter decks for a single card.
Yeah, who would do that? But yeah, you need him. The other thing you need to know is, depending on how you scry with this Riza, look at the top 2, place them on top or bottom, is how you intend to play the game that matchup. If you know what your opponent is playing and you know they're going to be hyper aggressive, you probably don't want to get rid of your 3k that can block that 2k they're about to keep attacking you with. You probably want to keep him on top to be able to combo with it. But if your opponent's playing something bigger, more controlling, you might want to just aim to get some of your card advantage cards that you're going to be able to push up early and start smashing into them. I think this deck is one that is going to take you quite a few reps to realize how good it is, and you're going to have a lot of games where you're like, oh no, I could have won that. It's going to happen until you get a lot of games in with it. But once you have that, it is a terrifying deck to play against.
But, you know, we don't know if there's future releases, so we won't really go into how this deck evolves for future releases because, again, it's all meta dependent anyway, depending on if you're going to be playing, you know, Pretty Princess or you're going to be playing, you know, the Metal Alchemist. So it really comes down to flavorful. But let's just say I want to give a huge thanks to ProDMJoey for joining us for the breakdown of Roy Mustang. A lot of fan favorites. ProDMJoey, let's let the viewer know where they can find you and follow your content.
Hi, I'm ProDMJoey. You can find me on YouTube and on Twitch and in the description down below, or in any of the UA Discord servers. I'm hanging out with people. I'm playing games with people. Just show up. We're there. Rumble Rama. I'm there.
Yep. Which, again, it's always fun. So, guys, This is Unionversity's signing off. Hopefully, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.
Bye.